In the bustling heart of the city, surrounded by upscale boutiques and trendy cafes, stood Hawthorne's, a department store synonymous with luxury and exclusivity. Its glass facade gleamed under the sunlight, symbolizing success and sophistication. But behind its sparkling exterior lay a troubling truth, a culture that needed to confront its biases and evolve. On a bright Saturday morning, Naomi and Daniel Ellis entered Hawthorne's, excited to celebrate their anniversary. The couple, impeccably dressed for the occasion, exuded confidence and charm. Naomi wore a navy dress that highlighted her elegance, while Daniel's tailored blazer added an air of refinement. They walked hand in hand across the polished marble floor, their joy palpable. However, their excitement was soon dampened by an uneasy feeling, a sense that their presence was being scrutinized. Unbeknownst to them, Annie Harris, the store's security guard, had been observing them closely. His sharp gaze followed their every move, not with admiration, but with suspicion. Neil's biases, deeply ingrained and unchecked, caused him to view Naomi and Daniel as outsiders who didn't belong in such a setting. As he trailed them through the store, his prejudices solidified into baseless assumptions about their intentions. Drawn by the shimmering displays, the couple made their way to the jewelry section. Naomi's eyes sparkled as she admired an intricate diamond necklace under the soft golden lights. Daniel stood beside her, sharing in her quiet appreciation of the craftsmanship. For a brief moment, they were lost in their world of celebration. But Neil's distrust had reached a breaking point. Striding purposefully toward them, Neil's posture was tense, and his face set in a stern expression. "Step away from the display," he commanded, his tone sharp and accusatory. Startled, Naomi and Daniel turned to face him. Confusion flickered across Daniel's face as he replied, "We're just looking." "Looking or loitering?" Neil snapped back, his voice heavy with insinuation. Before they could respond, he added, "You need to leave now." The joy of their outing evaporated in an instant, replaced by embarrassment and anger. Naomi's cheeks burned as curious onlookers stopped to watch the scene unfold. With no choice but to comply, the couple walked out of the store, their heads held high despite the humiliation. Outside, their indignation boiled over. "This isn't right," Naomi said, her voice steady but firm. Pulling out her phone, she called Caroline Thornton, a longtime friend and regional director of Hawthorne's. Naomi recounted the incident in vivid detail, her words laced with frustration and pain. Caroline listened intently, anger and disappointment bubbling within her. She had worked hard to foster inclusivity at Hawthorne's, but this incident revealed just how far they still had to go. Caroline acted swiftly. Within minutes, she arrived at the store. Her presence commanded attention. Reviewing the security footage, she confirmed the truth: Naomi and Daniel had done nothing wrong. Their actions were those of any other customer. The fault lay entirely with Neil's unwarranted assumptions. Summoning Neil to her office, Caroline confronted him. "Explain your actions," she demanded, her tone sharp and unwavering. Neil stammered, offering weak justifications and vague references to store policy. But Caroline wasn't interested in excuses. "Your behavior wasn't just a mistake, it was discriminatory," she said firmly. "Effective immediately, you are terminated." As Neil handed over his badge and walkie-talkie, the weight of his actions began to sink in. For Caroline, however, the moment marked only the beginning of a much larger journey. Sitting in her office later that day, Caroline reflected deeply on the incident. She realized it was not an isolated case but a symptom of a deeper issue within the store's culture. Determined to address the problem head-on, she called an emergency meeting with her management team. Standing before them, her voice was resolute. "This is bigger than one person," she began. "This is about the culture we've allowed to grow here. It's unacceptable, and it ends now. Caroline unveiled an ambitious plan. Mandatory bias training for all employees would become a cornerstone of their operations, designed to uncover and challenge unconscious prejudices. An anonymous reporting system would be established, giving customers and employees a safe way to voice concerns. Additionally, a diversity and inclusion committee would be formed to ensure accountability and drive long-term change. Later that evening, Caroline called Naomi to offer a heartfelt apology. "I'm so sorry for what happened," she said. "We're committed to making things right." Moved by Caroline's sincerity, Naomi and Daniel proposed a surprising idea. They would share their story during the upcoming training sessions, using their experience to inspire and educate. Over the following weeks, Hawthorne's began to transform. Employees attended intensive workshops that challenged them to confront uncomfortable truths about their biases. Derek, a veteran employee known for his skepticism about such initiatives, found himself deeply affected. During one exercise, he acknowledged his tendency to judge customers based on appearance. His openness inspired others to reflect on their own behaviors, creating a ripple effect of self-awareness. The changes were tangible. Customers noticed a warmer, more welcoming environment. Positive feedback flooded in, affirming that Hawthorne's was heading in the right direction. Employees, too, began to feel the impact. Conversations about inclusivity and respect, once avoided, became common and constructive. Caroline knew the journey was far from over. True change requires persistence and vigilance. But as she walked through the store one busy afternoon, watching employees greet customers with genuine smiles, she felt a glimmer of hope. Hawthorne's was evolving, not just as a luxury retailer but as a symbol of progress and inclusivity. The events of that Saturday became a turning point, not just for Naomi and Daniel but for the entire Hawthorne's community. Through courage, accountability, and a shared commitment to growth, the store began to live up to the ideals it claimed to represent. The road ahead was long, but it was one they were ready to walk together.